ESPN and ESPN2 since 1990. Your home to America's pastime.
The Kansas City Royals are soaring in rarefied air these days. At 20-10, they have the second best record in the American League and have equaled their best start ever through 30 games. They're making believers out of fans who suffered through 100 losses last year and are now hoping for their first postseason since winning it all 18 long years ago. What a setting for a day game. 72 degrees, not a cloud in the sky above Kauffman Stadium. Final game of this series, the Boston Red Sox visiting the Kansas City Royals. And welcome to Kansas City. I'm Dave Barnett. Hard to find a better story anywhere in baseball than this Kansas City start. The best turnaround in the first month of the season ever for a team coming off 100 losses. They've been in first place by themselves since April 4th. That's the longest stretch since they won the American League pennant in 1980. And Jeff Brantley, only last night did they lose here at home. 11-0 start, the best since the 1911 Detroit Tigers. They're doing it with a veteran core, a very young starting staff, and a lot of positivity from manager Tony Pena.
When you watch this ball club play, it's a totally different ball club and a different attitude than last year. And I think part of this has to be Tony Pena. When he took over in this ball club last year, I think he took a lot of mental notes, tried to figure out what was going to make each player better, and he's put that on these guys this year. They're excited. He was excited as a player, and now they're really putting it on the field every day.
He is not without stars. He has three-time All-Star first baseman Mike Sweeney, second in American League batting last. Very productive still this year, despite the fact we now know he's been playing the last month with a sprained ligament in his left wrist.
Well, Sweeney is a guy that is going to give you a great AB every time he comes to the plate, and he's just as dangerous with 2 strikes as he is with no strikes. And I think a lot of his ability comes from the type of person that he is, and a lot of these guys on this ball club, they follow in Sweeney's steps, and I think that's part of the big reason that this club's playing so well.
Tony Pena compares him to Willie Stargell in terms of leadership ability. We have a lot of kids on hand, a terrific setting for a surprisingly good matchup, and it features a Boston team with Manny Ramirez, the defending American League batting champion, Nomar Garciaparra, a 2-time batting champion. First place Kansas City, second place Boston. ESPN day game coming up.
When your first name is Armor, you know there's some serious protection going on. Armor All Protectant. It doesn't just clean and shine, it protects.
This Mother's Day, how can you thank Mom for all that she does every day?
Hi, honey. What's this?
I'm gonna get this for Mommy. This is enough, right?
Sweetheart, it's more than enough.
Give Mom the Leo Diamond, handcrafted by the artisans at Leo Schachter. The first diamond to be independently measured and certified for superior fire, sparkle, and brilliance. And like all diamonds at Kay, every Leo is hand-selected.
I got it all by myself.
Every kiss begins with K.
There's no place like home. No place like home.
For over 60 years, Owens Corning has been advancing the science of insulation, roofing, siding, sound control, and more. And everything we've learned, we've put into one very special place, your home. Owens Corning, innovations for living.
A female has lured a male into foreign territory. The dance floor. Dance poorly and she'll find him inadequate. Dance too well and he'll raise suspicions amongst the pack. Instinctively, he tries to escape. Or maybe not.
It's from your friends.
Nice. Rolling Rock beer. Grab a rock.
It comes to athlete's foot. This is the latest. This isn't. Lotramin Ultra, the latest prescription strength medicine available without a prescription. The latest cure, so ultra powerful. One use a day is all you need. Nothing's proven stronger or faster. Lotramin Ultra.
What's good? Sam?
Subway's new Italian urban cheese. The taste will bring you to your knees. Great bread makes a sandwich a true taste delight. You'll see for yourself with just one bite.
Subway, eat fresh!
Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, the vet will see you now.
What do you care? You've got the goodness of Reese's peanut butter and milk chocolate. Get lost in a Reese's.
ESPN's Day Game, brought to you by Armor All. It doesn't just clean and shine, it protects. And K Jewelers. This Mother's Day, shop K Jewelers. Every kiss begins with K.
Kansas City has needed a day like this. Storm ravaged a disaster area after tornadoes hit the last couple of weeks, costing at least 25 lives in Kansas and Missouri. Here is Grady Little's Boston Red Sox lineup with former Royal Johnny Damon leading off, and then Todd Walker, Nomar, and Manny Ramirez hitting 3-4.
Wouldn't everybody love to have a number 4 hitter like Manny Ramirez? Not only could you hit him in the 3rd spot because he's such a quality hitter, but he's got great power in that 4th spot anyway. A guy like him, you think you'd want to get him mad to take him out of his game, but this guy's cool all the time.
We will see the second major league appearance for 25-year-old rookie right-hander Kyle Snyder. Started in Fenway Park last Thursday, pitched very well, and starts Johnny Damon with a strike. Snyder is 6'8", 220. Went from A ball to AA last year, and is coming off Tommy John surgery, which basically cost him 2 years. Pitched only twice in 2000, did not pitch at all after recovering from the surgery in 2001. And he gets a chopper handled by the shortstop Desi Relaford. Third member of our crew with us this afternoon in Kansas City is Gary Miller. Gary.
Dave, you talk about Tommy John surgery, and I talked to the 6'8" Kyle Snyder before the game in the clubhouse, and he used to be on a 20-pitch count when he first came back from that out of the University of North Carolina, but he's been up to as many as 88 pitches. He says he's not in a pitch count today, but we'll have to watch. He's encouraged by what he did last week against this lineup in Fenway.
69 pitches in that game, and they decided that he was finishing that 5th inning on such a strong note not to bring him out and let him throw 5 or 6 more pitches in the 6th inning. He started 5 games in AAA before they brought him up, was undefeated there, 3-0. Here's Todd Walker, 300 hitting DH today. Back and forth from DH to second base in his first year with the Red Sox, and has hit in 14 of his last 15 starts. Very productive number 2 hitter with an American League leading 6 game winning runs batted in this year.
Todd, Gary was talking about Snyder. How would you like to have your first 2 starts against the Boston Red Sox right out of the chute? That's no easy task.
Chop foul at the plate, and 2-2. Kansas City 13th in the American League defensively.
A lot of places to play Desi Relaford. He came up as a shortstop, but Tony likes to use him not only at shortstop in the middle infield positions, but also at second base, and he can play the outfield too. Nice to have a guy like that in your lineup.
Walker down swinging. Snyder in the start at Fenway, 1 strikeout in his 5 innings.
Looks like a breaking ball right there. Starts in the middle of the plate, snaps right off the table. The reason you get guys swinging at pitches like that is because you're getting ahead in the count, throwing a lot of fastballs for strikes early, pitching on the inside of the part of the plate. You start getting guys trying to get out there early to hit that fastball, you're going to get some swings in the dirt like that on breaking pitches.
Now he gets Nomar Garciaparra, who pops the first pitch straight up, and it will come back on top of the screen. Wind blowing in today. Very cool, very pleasant, not much humidity at all.
Talking about a talent like Nomar Garciaparra, 282, even though a lot of guys in the big leagues would take that. He's not very happy with the way he's swinging the bat right now, even though he hit a home run the other night to tie up the ball game late. Not very happy with his swing.
282, hitting in 9 straight games, and this after the deepest slump of his career. 0 for 19 hitless in 4 straight games. This one will be playable. The third baseman Randa just in fair territory. It's a 1-2-3 first on 11 pitches for the rookie Snyder. And Tony Pena's Royals coming up here in the first inning. Later on, we'll have Red Sox starter John Burkett give us the inside pitch on ESPN Day Game.
K-Swiss, let's go. Let's go. Part 3. Got love for my shoes, K-Swiss. K-Swiss is back with a brand new invention and the SP249 to the description. Silver stripe times 5, one of a kind, an athletic design for the times that'll blow your mind. Sporty style is on point, it won't miss. Got love for my shoes, K-Swiss. Got love for my shoes, K-Swiss.
Tonight at 7, the Rockies head to Atlanta to battle the red-hot Braves. At 9, up 3 games to 2, and coming off a 7-2 thrashing, can the Canucks make it to the conference finals? And at 10, the Bronx Bombers are in Seattle to meet the Mariners. It's all on ESPN2 and ESPN tonight.
Lifetime Sunday, television's most powerful night of original dramas for women. The Division.
You didn't authorize backup.
Strong Medicine.
Where?
There's a woman's life at stake.
For the People.
He deliberately lied to us to make sure we'd call him to the stand.
3 powerful original dramas, 1 riveting night of television.
Never bet against the girls.
Lifetime Sunday, starting at 8 Sundays, only on Lifetime.
Brought to you in part by Texas Toyota.
Ooh, it's beautiful.
Whatever you drive, stay on the road of life with Standard Insurance. For a great rate, find us on the phone or on the internet.
From high atop Kauffman Stadium, now the Kansas City lineup from Tony Pena, Michael Tucker, Joe Randa, Beltran DHing again. And then Sweeney and Raul Ibanez hitting .315 and .378 here at home.
Great year for Ibanez last year. Very important position in this lineup, hitting behind Sweeney.
Michael Tucker against John Burkett. What a pitching contrast we have. The rookie against the 38-year-old 14-year veteran.
Going to see John Burkett using both sides of the plate. A lot of breaking pitches, a lot of change-ups, really trying to change speeds on every single pitch he throws.
Burkett last year won 13, lost 8. Came to Boston as a free agent after a couple of years with Atlanta, in which he resurrected his career. 1-2 to Michael Tucker, hitting .265.
As we watch Burkett today, you saw that pitch right there. He's going to try to cut his fastball into these left-handers, because the key pitch for Burkett is being able to throw his changeup on the outside part of the plate. But when your fastball is only 84 miles an hour, you have to pitch even more so inside to be able to get people off of your off-speed pitch away.
This is Burkett's 400th career start, and a blooper which will be run down in short center by the second baseman Miller. Boston defensively has had the stretches of errors. Nomar Garciaparra in the first game of this series Monday. The game deciding error in the 9th inning right through the wickets on a ground ball. But last night, his usual spectacular self ranging deep into the hole to rob Mike Sweeney.
As we see the graphic there, 5 errors in his last 5 games. This is not the normal Garciaparra that we're used to seeing, neither at the plate nor in the field. But I'm sure that he will have it together shortly.
Joe Randa, since his team-high 11-game hitting streak, which was snapped Sunday, 0 for 10 since then. Still a very solid #2 hitter with 5 home runs. 8 of his 15 runs batted in have given the Royals the lead, and he starts with a base hit to right. So much for the 0 for 10 in this series. And let's check in again with Gary Miller.
Dave and Jeff, I know the Baseball Tonight ratings people don't want to hear this, but Nomar didn't see last night when Bobby Valentine and Harold Reynolds broke down his breakdown in defense, and he agreed that it is footwork, a lot, but he said it's hard to plant your foot towards the target when you're going as deep in the hole as he did in that play last night. And he does agree that sometimes you get in fielding slumps, but he's not taking any extra ground balls. It'll just straighten itself out.
Here's Beltran. Nomar also questioned after last night's game because he strained his back on a swing in the late innings. Red Sox had to wait and see how he felt when he arrived in the locker room a couple hours before game time, right in his usual spot, batting third at short. 1-1 to Beltran, who is DHing again today. Injured his shoulder on a batting practice swing over the weekend. And a difficult first game of this series for Garciaparra, the first of his 2 errors, and then the second in the 9th inning, costing Boston the winning run. Sweeney comes in to score that run, and he had committed a game-deciding error himself last Wednesday night at Fenway Park.
I don't know that error that cost him the ball game was as much about actually a missed fielding play as it was about good base running and being at the right place at the right time. It looked like that ball just got shielded from Nomar right at the last second, and if you can't see it, you surely can't catch it.
He didn't cite that, though. He was stand up afterwards, say, no, I can't blame it on being shielded. I just cost us the game.
Always has been. That's the one thing about Garciaparra that I admire so much, is the fact that he comes to the ballpark every day to beat the opposition. And even though he may be struggling a little bit, the guys around him are picking it up because they know his type of leadership is what makes him click.
Double play ball. Miller, Garciaparra, and on to Ortiz in time to double up Beltran. Still under 200 for the year. Manny Ramirez leading off the Boston second here in Kansas City.
Is it safe? Yeah, but hurry. This better be quick. Come on, come on, come on. Whoa! There's no way we can beat Dollar's rates. Hey, how are ya? Meeting's starting. Let's go. Yeah, I'm coming. Yes. Dollar.com? Yeah, from now on. I can't afford us.
When it's your money you're spending, log on for our lowest rates at dollar.com.
Inside's the difference. It's what's inside that makes the difference. Between just handling the road, attacking, and scorching the pavement. Between just moving and riding curves like you're on rails. Between just going and tearing the wind in half. The 227 horsepower, turbocharged, all-wheel drive Subaru WRX. Subaru, driven by what's inside.
When you want a battery that keeps going, and going, and going, and going. Energizer Max. Do you have the bunny inside?
Got the bunny inside.
Papa John's grilled chicken Alfredo. You expect the best. We deliver.
Try our new grilled chicken Alfredo, just $10.99. Call us now. We'll be right there.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Forget what you've seen. Forget what you've heard. Because the deodorant world is entering a new dimension. New degree for men.
Your lawn is being taken over by two kinds of weeds. With Weed Be Gone, one product gets rid of the lawn weeds.
But not the crabgrass.
The other one kills the crabgrass.
But not the lawn weeds. There's gotta be a better way.
Bayer Advanced all-in-one weed killer for lawns. It kills lawn weeds plus crabgrass in just one easy step. And it won't harm your lawn.
Two kinds of weeds, one simple solution.
From Bayer Advanced, where better thinking always gives you better results.
The better crowds of the year here at Kauffman Stadium. I don't know what they're calling the promotion with all the kids in tow today. They ought to call it Hooky Day because there is a lot of that being played in the Kansas City area. Before the game, it looked like every fifth grader in about a 500-mile region was here for a clinic. Here's Manny Ramirez, 7th in the American League, hitting .344 even after his 9-game hitting streak ended last night.
Middle of the week day game. This is a great crowd here at the ballpark this afternoon.
Snyder nails one down. Knee high the outside corner. 1-2. Weather Awareness Day. They had a presentation about how to survive tornadoes, which is all too useful information here with the events of the last couple of weeks. Tornadoes hit, we're told, as close as 10 miles from the park. And Tony Peña's house, in fact, had one hit within about 3 miles.
Tornadoes so unpredictable. It's one thing about, same thing with earthquakes. You just never know when they're going to happen.
Now you were in Candlestick Park for that earthquake.
That was 89, right in the middle of the World Series. Not a whole lot of fun.
Ramirez working the count full and then taking, and becomes the first Red Sox base runner against Kyle Snyder. And let's check in again with Gary.
I talked to Tony before the game. He said that storm came within 3/4 of a mile of his house, and they were all affected in some way or another, but their strength coach had the biggest effect. His father lost his house.
Lots of stories. People who, if they didn't directly have property losses or human losses, they know someone who did around here. And the Royals had a big sign up in their locker room before the game. They are, as a team, collecting money to go to the Tornado Victims Fund. So the franchise doing what it can to help out here. Here's David Ortiz, first base today. Red Sox have kind of gathered first base DH types since last season. Ortiz, the former Twin. Jeremy Giambi getting a start in right today. Kevin Millar, the former Marlin, who is easily hitting the best of that group. And then Shea Hillenbrand bouncing back and forth from first to third and playing third base today. He's in the on-deck circle.
Dave, we were talking about this before we came on the air. When you have Jason Varitek hitting in the 9th spot, that's a pretty strong lineup right there.
Ortiz, a slow roller. Fabulous with only one play, and Ramirez will take second.
Well, for Snyder to be successful today, he's got to get some swings on that breaking ball. And throwing a big curveball is not an easy pitch to throw for a strike. And a lot of times when you're behind in the count, if it's 2-0 or 3-1, you want to be able to throw a pitch that you've got to get some guys to swing. This pitch right there looks like a ball that's down in the zone, sinking a little bit, gets Ortiz to swing right over the top of it.
Now Hillenbrand, who had his trademark red-hot April, and with 26 runs batted in, is still tied for 5th in the American League. But most of the first month of the season, he led that category by himself. Cooled off a little bit. Over his career, about 40% of his runs batted in happened in April.
One thing I like about Hillenbrand is he uses the whole field. He's not just up there trying to pull the ball. He'll hit the ball to right field just as well as he'll hit the ball to left, and with some power.
Ramirez going. The throw by DeFelice has no chance, and Manny Ramirez very alertly running on the rookie.
You've got to watch your runners, especially when they're at second base. A veteran base runner, if you're not looking at him at all and you leave him alone, especially if your middle infielders aren't moving towards second base, they're going to run on you. You can see Manny just taking a little hop there. He never turns around and looks at him. DeFelice has got absolutely no shot at third base.
This is the first attempt of the year at a steal for Ramirez. And Boston not hesitating to run this year. They are 24 for 29. Third in the American League. Actually, that steal ties them with Tampa Bay for second in the American League in stolen bases. Grady Little has a very un-Red Sox-like running game. That's a big part of the fact that they're the top scoring team in the American League so far.
And that's a big steal right there, because with one out, all you got to do is get a ball to the outfield and you've got a run scored.
Hillenbrand chopping one fair, and then Randa lets it go right under his legs and roll foul again.
I think if Randa had been able to catch that ball on the second hop, he might have been able to make that play, but out of the corner of his eye, he could see Hillenbrand hustling down first base. Even if he catches that ball there and tries to keep it fair, there's no way he's getting Hillenbrand. Hillenbrand was hustling all the way out of the box.
Ramirez was going to stay, but Hillenbrand was definitely going to make first. So Snyder will come to him again at 1-2. And the breaking ball is skied to left field. Ramirez will tag as Ibanez settles under it. In a couple of steps. Here comes Ramirez. And the throw way offline as Boston takes a 1-0 lead.
That goes back to that stolen base right there. Fly ball, and all you got to do is get the ball in the outfield, and you're going to score a run.
Batting 7.
If you're going to beat a club like the Red Sox, you've got to be able to do those small things. And even though you're a rookie pitcher, you're still pitching in the big leagues. You can't get away with letting a guy, especially a guy like Manny Ramirez, take third base on you because you're not paying attention. If that ball's hit with him at second base, there's just an out. Nothing happens. No advancement, nothing.
Manny got the inning started by the leadoff walk. And Boston scores without benefit of a hit. Second base on the grounder by Ortiz, stealing third, scoring on Hillenbrand's sac fly. Now here's Bill Miller, as hot as any Red Sox hitter. 9 straight he's hit in. And the average up to .351 after 2 singles, a double, and a walk last night.
One thing about Bill Miller is from both sides of the plate, he's going to make contact. Very difficult to strike out. And the thing that he's doing for the Red Sox is he's playing all over the place. Playing third base, playing second base, a little bit at first.
We were thinking maybe if Nomar couldn't go today, they would give Miller a shot at shortstop. He bounces out to Sweeney, but Boston pushes across a run without a hit here in the second.
We're a family of 8 kids and 12 grandkids.
Every year we have the Flock Family Football game.
We've been doing this for 18 years now.
Flock Flag Football.
We take lots of pictures, and that's where Walmart comes in. Some of it's film, some of it's digital, but we get great prints either way. It's a good excuse to get together and knock each other silly. It's always fun to look back and see who broke what.
Whether you prefer digital or a film camera, you can get high-quality prints at a Walmart price.
I've made a lot of news on the baseball diamond, but if you want to find out about this diamond, you've got to go talk to your doctor.
Ready to try Viagra for the first time? See your doctor and find out if a free sample's right for you.
My doctor says it's right for me. That's why I stay with it. For more information, go to Viagra.com.
A breakthrough offer from Midas, America's trusted leader in brakes. Right now, get lifetime VSD brake pads or shoes for just $39.95 at Midas. And you'll never have to buy brake pads or shoes again for as long as you own your car. So how do you find the time to repair your brakes without stopping your life? The answer is Midas for fast, reliable brake service. Hurry into Midas today for lifetime VSD brake pads or shoes. Next stop, Midas. Lifetime brake pads or shoes, $39.95. Installation extra at Midas.
What's good?
Sam?
Subway's new Italian urban cheese. The taste will bring you to your knees. Great bread makes a sandwich a true taste delight. You'll see for yourself with just one bite.
Subway, eat fresh!
Something remarkable is at your fingertips. Now you can call anyone in America for 3 cents a minute, 39 cents to connect. And not only is it 3 cents anywhere in the U.S., but also to Canada and to Western Europe. Introducing 1010-987. There's no monthly fees, nothing to sign up for. All you do is dial 1010-987 so you can use it right now. Hey, a rate this low never went so far. 1010-987.
A lot of folks skipping school today to watch the Red Sox close out this series in Kansas City. Mike Sweeney to be followed by Raul Ibanez and Desi Relaford here in the second. Manny Ramirez had only tried 1 stolen base in his previous 2 years with Boston. It was unsuccessful. This is his first steal since 2000 with the Indians.
Basic fundamental of pitching, period, is holding runners. Schneider doesn't even look at him, and that's why Manny steals the base. If you're not going to even look at him at all, get it made.
But still, to Manny's credit, that he realized that the opening was there.
Yeah. But that's going to cost him a run. If this is a 1-run ball game, that looms large. Fundamental mistake.
Boston leads with small ball.
How about that?
And who would ever,
all those sluggers.
At any point in any season, who would have figured Boston to be the #2 stolen base team in the American League? Mike Mike Sweeney at 269, 7 homers. That's about where you'd expect him. 24 runs batted in. And he finally admitted last night that his left wrist has been bothering him for about a month, and they gave him an MRI. Turns out he's got a sprained ligament in it.
And you watch Sweeney when he stands at the plate, you see his knees are kind of bowed in a little bit. He keeps moving the bat, and all of that is just about balance and keeping yourself comfortable at the plate, and that's why he's able to hit the ball the way that he does.
3-time All-Star, second to Ramirez at 340. Chase Manny for the batting title right into the final weekend of the season last year. This is a fly ball right to Jeremy Giambi, starting in right field for the Red Sox today.
Another fastball inside by Burkett. Talked about that when he first came out in the first inning. He's got to pitch inside to be able to keep guys off of his breaking ball away. And you see this pitch on the inside part of the plate. And all Burkett's doing is changing speeds, using both sides of the plate. And even though he's only throwing the ball 84, 85 miles an hour, he still jams even a quality hitter like Sweeney right there by using both sides of the plate and changing speeds.
Ibanez showing bunt, takes for a strike. 4th best home average in the American League coming in, 378 here at Kauffman Stadium.
Ibanez has got a job to do, especially with Beltran struggling the way that he is. Hitting behind Sweeney is no easy task, because as time goes on, if Sweeney's swinging a hot bat, Ibanez is the guy that's going to have to pull the cart.
And until last year, Ibanez looking like maybe just a career extra outfielder. And even last year started just about like any other. First 39 games, he was under 200, 1 home run. And then suddenly exploded. Next 40 games had better than 350, drove in 50, 13 homers, hit in 34 of his last 37 games. And Tony Pena had himself a star. Ended up at 294, 24 homers, 103 driven in, his 2nd straight career year, both here with Kansas City. Takes strike 3, first strikeout for Burkett.
Burkett threw him a changeup earlier in the count that started on the inside part of the plate. And Ibanez hit it off the end of the bat. He was a little bit earlier. This ball starts at him and runs right back over the inside part of the plate. A lot of hitters are still having trouble with that high strike. It's very difficult to pull the trigger on a ball that for your whole career has actually been a ball. It's been up in the zone, and now they're calling it there. It's difficult to pull the trigger on a pitch like that.
So another former Mariner now, Desi Relaford, 4th round pick by Seattle 12 years ago, getting to start at shortstop today and hitting a healthy 314. Big part in the win Monday night, a 2-run homer, and then was hit by a pitch in the 9th inning rally, which drove in the tying run in what would eventually become a 7-6 Kansas City win. We're at Kauffman Stadium, ESPN day game. You could not ask for a better setting. 72 degrees, slight breeze blowing in from left, a cloudless afternoon in Kansas City, and a 1-0 lead for Boston on a sacrifice fly in the second by Shea Hillenbrand, scoring Manny Ramirez. Absolutely spectacular in Kansas City today. 2-1 to Relaford. 3 balls and a strike.
You'd never know by looking at the sky today that it was so bad just a few days back.
Hey, yesterday,
I know.
A little Harry flying in. And supposed to be more weather coming in tomorrow. D. Brown on deck. But a welcome respite today. Very high in the air, right fielder Giambi handles 2 of the 3 outs for Burkett here in the second. As the Royals again go in order, Giambi will lead off in the 3rd.
For everyone.
Somewhere, a nurse manager's blood pressure is rising. 4 nurses out with the flu, ER's gone berserk, and the compound fracture in 116 just wants his lime gelatin. Nearby, a talented nursing assistant needs a good job. That's where we come in. Employers call 888-MONSTER. Post your job and find the right person for it. Because now, blue collar, white collar, no collar, Monster works for everybody.
Life bugs. Dead bugs. I collect them. They're no longer living. Sometimes I send them to my friends. I learn everything I can about them. The thorax. These are my little friends. What can I say? I'm very passionate.
Everything we do is about connecting you to the stuff you love most. Comcast.
Severe thunderstorms heading our way.
The weather doesn't care about the plans you make.
The possibility of lightning showing up now. You may want to think about canceling those outdoor
Fortunately,
activities.
Troy does, which is why more North Texans trust Troy Dungan and the News 8 weather team when severe weather strikes. They've got the experience and the technology. You'll get the fastest, smartest, down-to-your-street information to keep you safe.
Well, that weather system has passed us by now, so look for a great late afternoon.
And to save the day. Keep safe. Trust Troy. News 8 weather like no other.
ESPN's Day Game, brought to you by High Heat Major League Baseball 2004. All the action and details for the real sport. Learn more at highheat.com. And blue collar, white collar, no collar. Now Monster works for everybody.
Hard to believe this place is 30 years old this year. Opened in 1973. Jeremy Giambi going after the first pitch, and that has got to feel like a grand slam to Jeremy Giambi. He doubles to the gap in left center field. Giambi in the midst of a 1-for-18 slump. That's just his second hit in his last 7 games, and he has even flown in his father John to help him work out of this very deep hole with his swing maybe returning to form there.
Well, when you're struggling, the first thing that you want to do is get a fastball early in the count and take a hack, and that's exactly what that was. Snyder trying to get ahead of him right there, left it a little bit too much over the plate.
So a leadoff double now. The number 9 hitter. Not in many lineups, but number 9 in Boston's Jason Varitek. 4 home runs, has driven in 14, and more than half his 23 hits have been for extra bases, 13 of the 23.
Surely Snyder will check Giambi now at second base. Yeah. He's checking him now.
Rutherford briefly sneaking in behind him. Varitek out in front of that one, a ball and a strike.
Nice changeup by Snyder right there. Brent Mayne was telling me before the ball game that he felt like that was the pitch that was going to keep him in the big leagues. If he can use his changeup and get it over the plate for strikes, he's going to make some hay.
Red Sox again hit behind the runner. Varitek able to advance Jeremy Giambi to third. Got a pair of games tonight on ESPN2. Really a triple header between the two ESPNs. 7 Eastern, the Rockies and the Braves. That's Nelson Cruz against Shane Reynolds. And then at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, the Yankees and the Mariners. And Mike Mussina off to a Cy Young candidacy. 6-0, 160 earned run average. Also leads the league with 51 strikeouts. Joel Pinheiro will try to match Mussina tonight.
We've seen early in this ball game already, even though you look at this Red Sox lineup and it's got a bunch of sluggers in it, they're doing the little things early in this ball game. Moving runners over right there. Varitek moving Giambi to third, and then getting the fly ball from Hillenbrand earlier to score Manny Ramirez, who made a heads-up steal once in the last 2 years. But when you don't check him at second base, why not run?
Now maybe because we got such a young crowd. Johnny Damon, for the first time in this series, really for the first time since he left Kansas City, is not being showered with boos. Last 2 nights, his every move has been booed. And he says, you know, it's all right with me. I just wish they'd remember I didn't leave here as a free agent. I was traded from here. I never had a chance to leave. Royals property for 6.5 years. And folks, for some reason, still holding him responsible for being traded. It came on the heels of his career year 3 years ago as a Royal. And first shipped to Oakland and now with Boston.
Not much you can do about it as a player when you're traded like that.
Right to Randa. And Giambi has to stay put with 2 outs. Now he hears cheers.
Sinker on the outside part of the plate. Johnny doesn't get a real good swing at this pitch. And in this situation, you're trying to get a ball that you can elevate, get the ball up in the zone, hit the ball into the outfield. This is a pitcher's pitch on the outside part of the plate, running away from Damon. Takes a swing at it. Not exactly the pitch that you want to hit in that situation.
So Giambi still at third after the leadoff double. And now Todd Walker with 2 outs. Exactly the type situation, though, where Todd Walker has excelled this year. Last night singled in Boston's first run in the third. Leads the team with 7 go-ahead runs batted in, as well as we said leading the league with 6 game-winning runs batted in.
Contrast in pitching styles here. You see the velocity from Kyle Snyder, 84 miles an hour. Both of those pitches are changeups. On the other side with the Boston Red Sox, if John Burkett is throwing that pitch, that's his fastball.
Topping out around 84, 85. 92 right there. Snyder can hit 95. He did in his first start, and now a pitch away from getting out of this third inning trouble.
Todd Walker is a dead red fastball hitter, likes the ball close to him, but Snyder threw him 2 changeups, 1 for a strike and then came back with 1 for a ball. After you've seen 2 pitches that are 84 miles an hour, that 92-mile-an-hour fastball looks like it just got shot out of a bazooka.
Especially from a 6'8" delivery.
Nice little arm angle coming out of the sky.
And what's in store with the 1-2? That's blooped out of play.
The one thing, Dave, from pitching from that type of arm angle, especially with that height and the elevation of the mound, you get some great angles coming to the plate. Your breaking ball has already got some tilt on it even before it leaves your hand, and it really helps you a lot. When you can throw downhill, you like to have a lot of your pitchers, all of them, teach them to throw the ball downhill because you create angles. The ball's already moving towards the ground, gets you a lot of ground balls.
2-2, again taking a lot off that one. Down to the low 80s.
Looked like he tried to throw a curveball there and just tried to throw a little bit too hard. A lot of young pitchers will try to do that. Try to get a little bit too much on the baseball, and it doesn't do what you want to do. I think it actually was a changeup, just came out of his hand a little bit too soon.
Snyder ready for Walker with the 2-2 and blocked nicely by DeFelice. So Walker runs the count full.
That was definitely a curveball right there, trying to put Todd Walker away. The thing about it is, if you get a hitter 1 and 2, you've got to put him away right then. You can't let the batter back into the count, especially a guy like Walker, when you've got Garciaparra on deck, then followed by Ramirez. You've got a chance to get out of this inning without any damage, but you've got to be able to make that pitch when it's 1 and 2, not let the hitter get back into the count at 3-2.
And definitely not get to Nomar this inning. Well, Walker waits him out and gets the walk, and Nomar will bat now with runners on the corners and 2 out.
Those are the things right there that you have to learn as a rookie pitcher. You've got to know who the batters are coming back up. This is a 3-2 changeup, and he's only thrown 1 changeup in this AB to Todd Walker for a strike, and that was the first pitch of the at bat. He had him 1 and 2. Let Walker get away from him. Now he's got to face Garciaparra and possibly Ramirez with runners in scoring position.
Garciaparra to pop to third his first time up. Fooled him on that one, but it stayed inside. So Walker now keeps a streak alive of having reached base in all 27 of his starts. No one has kept him off the pass. 1-1 to Garciaparra. Check in with Gary Miller.
Dave, in his days at North Carolina when Snyder was a dominant pitcher, he hardly ever threw the curveball because he can throw so hard. So it's an adjustment he's made, and of course the Tommy John surgery didn't help at all either. So it's not something he's used to throwing in a count.
First round pick, 7th overall out of North Carolina in the '99 draft. Way out in front, and it's 1 and 2. Now we'll see if he responds to this 1 and 2 count better than he did to Walker.
He's got a great separation in his velocity. This is a curveball This pitch is a strike regardless of whether Garciaparra swings or not. 1-1 count. He just saw a 93-mile-an-hour fastball that got in on him a little bit. I think Garcia was fooled a little bit looking for a fastball on that pitch.
Should get out of it. Short right, tracked down just on the line by Fabulous. And Boston gets nothing out of the lead double by Giambi as the rookie Snyder does a nice job getting out of trouble, something John Burkett knows a lot about. We'll hear from him on the inside pitch coming up.
See the most phenomenal international athletes from 6 world regions compete at the first ever X Games Global Championship. Presented by McDonald's, beginning May 17th on ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC Sports.
Hey, Veronica? Yeah? Would you like to go to McDonald's with me? No, I wouldn't, Steve. It's Sam. Whatever.
I'll go, Sam. McDonald's and a man like you? A girl would be crazy to pass that up.
That was really cool, Aunt Tiffany.
What? Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Introducing new body wash from Old Spice.
Put my love to the test.
It has a dual action formula, so you'll get really clean, smell really great.
Hey, Ben. Need help with your anatomy homework?
New body wash from Old Spice.
John Burkett leading Kansas City 1-0, and yesterday Jeff had a chance to pick his brain on our inside pitch.
When you hear guys talking about a changeup, you hear the okay changeup. Guys putting a couple of fingers on the ball. How exactly do you hold it?
Yeah, with mine, I learned mine in A-ball a long time ago, 1984. Pitching coach named Steve Stites taught me it, and it's basically a palm ball. I stick it back deep in my palm, and my fingers will actually come off of it like that. I try to keep my thumb underneath it so it kind of catches that seam. And so I want the ball to come out, just kind of slip out, and even catch that seam a little bit and get a little bit of back rotation. Kind of pull down the shade and get that backspin on it so it falls.
You were talking about changing speeds on your breaking ball. Do you have to hold the curveball tighter or looser when you change speeds when you're getting those different velocities?
I usually do it with my stride. I learned that if I shorten my stride a little bit, which is really hard to see with the naked eye, but I feel like I'm a foot shorter sometimes when I'm throwing my short one, but it's probably like a third of a stride, third of a shoe, shorter. But that's usually what takes off the speed for me. And I always chuck my curveball back, so I really can't change that too much, as far as trying to take speed off it. So I've done it with my stride.
Burkett getting D. Brown to fly out to center fielder Damon. Do you know of any other pitchers who use their stride instead of their grip to change speed?
I don't know that I've ever actually heard that. When I heard him say that, it caught me by surprise, because a lot of guys will change their grip. They'll either hold the ball out a little bit or they'll get it a little bit tighter to be able to change speeds, and he's talking about doing it with his stride. That's difficult, but seems to be working for John.
14 years in the big leagues, a lot of things have worked for him. 6th round pick by the Giants 20 years ago. And up with them by 87, said he had a very frustrating time finally breaking into the big leagues. Gets ahead of Carlos Fabulous, the Royal second baseman. 7 years in the minors. He said he watched pitcher after pitcher get called up. He said, I'm better than that guy. I'm better than this guy. Why am I not getting the shot? Well, one obvious reason would be he's not a 95-mile-an-hour overpowering type. The type that a major league team can't wait to see try on big league hitters for size. So he had to learn his craft and make sure that when he did finally get a shot, he'd stay up for good. And sure enough, he did. And 10 years ago, as good a pitcher probably as there was in either league. 22 wins in 1993.
When John came up, he really didn't have a signature pitch besides the fastball that runs, and he still has that pitch now, even though the velocity is not the same as it was when he was coming up.
Both his strikeouts on called strike 3. Ibanez last inning, and now Fabulous.
I think the biggest asset that John has put himself with his whole career is his calm and coolness when he's on the mound. Never seems to get rattled regardless of the circumstances. And if you're a starting pitcher, that's the way you have to be. And I think that's probably the biggest reason he's pitched as long as he has. Is he's the same in the first inning as he is in the ninth.
Did that personality maybe cause him to stay in the minors longer than he might otherwise have?
I think so, and I think there was a couple reasons. Number one, he really didn't have a quality breaking ball when he was in the minor leagues because we came up together. But the one thing about John is that when he was on the mound, he did have a tremendous amount of concentration, but he was kind of a happy-go-lucky guy, and I think that worked against him a little bit. But it's part of what has made him into such a great pitcher with such longevity is that he's calm and cool all the time, both on and off the field. So,
and he shattered his share of bats, of course, over the years. Felice will need a new weapon.
And you see a guy like John Burkett run a fastball in. This pitch is 84 miles an hour, and he breaks his bat. Now, how do you do that? You do that by pitching. You get guys looking for the ball away, looking for something off speed, and you run the ball inside. This is pitching inside 101. The reason that John does this, to keep guys off of his off-speed pitches away. You have to be able to throw the ball in if you're going to be effective on the outside part of the plate.
More than once, people have thought his career had to be coming to an end. A pitching starved Texas team let him go. Tampa Bay let him go. He ends up having
one of his best years.
A career low ERA 2 years ago. 3.04, third in the National League as an Atlanta Brave and an all-star. Another called strike three. Strikes out 2 of the 3 here in the third. He has retired the Royals in order through 3 and leads 1-0.
This real deal moment brought to you by Baby Ruth. Stick one directly into your intake valve. Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal.
I'm fastball. Buy me, buy me. Me, I'm a fastball. You know, I'm a fastball. Fastball, baby. Buy me.
Ever wonder how the world's most sophisticated credit card systems can process millions of transactions all around the world, all at the same moment in time? They rely on the world's most capable networking company, AT&T.
Yo, fuzzball!
Nice 4. Yeah, hey, do they even play softball in Canada?
Oh, boy. I guess I'll be getting that one. Better take a peace offering. Oh, hi. Yeah, I thought we could discuss your new window over some Labatt Blue.
Well, since you put it that way. That's my roommate.
Hello.
Look up, see blue. Labatt Blue.
That guy must have been really mad.
This real deal moment brought to you by Baby Ruth. Take this out to the ball game. Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal.
Sarah Fisher does a lot of driving to and from work. So when Sarah needs brakes, she insists on premium quality Raybestos brand brakes. She knows there's a big difference in brake parts and repair, and that bargain brakes are no bargain. Why does Sarah know so much? Because she doesn't just drive to work, she drives at work. Discover what Sarah Fisher knows. Have your brakes checked every year and ask for premium quality parts.
A life-saving reminder from Raybestos, the best in brakes.
When it comes to athlete's foot, this is the latest. This isn't. Lotramin Ultra, the latest prescription strength medicine available without a prescription. The latest cure, so ultra powerful. 1 use a day is all you need. Nothing's proven stronger or faster. Lotramin Ultra.
This real deal moment brought to you by Baby Ruth. Wake up and smell the peanuts. Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal.
Youthful exuberance everywhere you look. Kauffman Stadium today. 1-0 Boston. Dave Barnett, Jeff Brantley, Gary Miller, and our ESPN crew. On a day game Wednesday, Kyle Snyder allowed Manny Ramirez to score after a leadoff walk in the second inning. Advanced to second on a grounder by David Ortiz, then stole third base, his first steal in 3 years. And came home on a sacrifice fly by Shea Hillenbrand.
Did you ever skip school to go to a ball game?
No.
Baseball's
not really
better.
An option.
Baseball's better than algebra, huh?
Well, I always thought baseball is the best way to learn math.
Thank you very much. That's what I say. Of course, if you're playing, you better learn math because you're going to have to count that money.
Ramirez wailing away at the 2-0 pitch. You can learn division with your batting average, your earned run average.
Exactly.
Your games behind formulas,
ERA,
algebra, really.
ERA.
Yes, if you're a player, mileage between minor league stops comes in handy.
Exactly.
Price of a plane ticket home. And Snyder a pitch away from again walking Ramirez to lead an inning. Didn't work out too well for him last time it happened.
Schneider's got a good changeup. He threw it for a strike. That's the pitch that Manny fouled off. But once you get a guy to swing and you decelerate his bat with that changeup, come back with your fastball for a strike. Make him hit it.
Just like that. Bounced out to Relaford. Well, these stunning views of Kansas City and Kauffman Stadium, courtesy of the Saturn Lightship. The crew of the Saturn Lightship hope you are enjoying ESPN's coverage of Major League Baseball.
You were talking earlier, Dave, about the age of this stadium. This stadium may be older, but it is absolutely gorgeous. This place is beautiful.
It's the 4th oldest park in the American League.
You never know that. Never know.
You got Fenway, of course, Yankee Stadium, Oakland, and Kauffman Stadium. And I come here and I think the same thing every time I'm at Dodger Stadium. If you built it from the ground up today, you couldn't improve on it. You probably wouldn't change anything. Maybe add a few more suites here.
And you look. It must be Missouri, because you look at the Cardinal Stadium. That stadium is old. Came out almost like the cookie cutter stadium, and whatever they've done with it, it looks great. And this place looks awesome.
Yeah, Busch Stadium's the only mid-'60s era stadium.
And they're talking about building a new one there.
People didn't hate. As a matter of fact, it's gotten better with age. Of course, right next door, Arrowhead Stadium, as fine a football facility as there is, and a year older than Kauffman Stadium. Originally Royal Stadium when it opened back in '73. Snyder again falling behind, this time 3-1 to David Ortiz.
Snyder's got good stuff. He looks like he's trying to be a little bit too fine. You're going to get away with some of those pitches just like you did on a 3-1 count to Ramirez there, but you can't live behind in the count to this Red Sox lineup. It's just not going to happen.
Now 3-2. Ortiz, a former Twin with a lot of power potentially. 20 home runs last year. Signed as a free agent, but only 1 homer this year. However, he couldn't have timed it better. It was in the top of the 14th inning a week ago Sunday at Anaheim. A game that the Red Sox bullpen had blown for Pedro Martinez. They led at 1.41. And Ortiz's home run ended up the winning blow for Boston in 14. This one will slice back out of play.
I wonder if sometimes when some of these left-handed hitters go to Fenway from other ball clubs, and they're normally pull hitters like Ortiz is, if they try to change their swing a little bit to take advantage of that wall. Because if you're a natural pull hitter and you try to change your swing to take advantage of the wall, you know what? You're going to hit about 200.
Snyder again battling back nicely, and it will be Tucker taking charge after a long run.
Tucker made a great play on that ball. Looked like the ball was coming back towards the infield. Communication with Desi Relaford. Much easier for an outfielder to come in than it is for Desi Relaford to try to make this over-the-shoulder catch right here. But you can see Tucker calling for the ball. Great communication. Came a long way to get that ball, but you can hear him holler right there. Desi peels off. That's how you do it.
Center field 101.
There you go.
Shea Hillenbrand, with the only RBI today, is 27th of the year.
The thing for Schneider, if you can throw 3 straight pitches when it's 3-1, 3-2, and then get a pop up to center field, you should be able to do it when it's 2-1 or when it's 0-1 or 0-0. The whole
2-0.
Yeah, the whole thing is try to be aggressive in the strike zone. Don't try to make them miss. You can't strike them out on the first pitch. Make them swing the bat right from the get-go.
Well, one of the things that impressed the Royals about Snyder in the minors, the fact that he can hit mid-90s, but he doesn't walk many. This is going to fall in the right field corner. Long throw for D. Brown and a double with 2 outs in the 4th for Hillenbrand. Both Boston hits are doubles. And they have had at least one double in all but one game this year. They are a two-base hit machine in 2003.
That piece of hitting right there from Shea Hillenbrand, this is what makes him so dangerous as a hitter. A lot of guys will try to take that high pitch right there and try to drive it out of the ballpark in left center field and end up getting under it and hitting a fly ball. Hillenbrand takes that ball and takes it right down the right field line, stays on top of it, and gets a double. Now they've got a chance for a run here.
Strike one to Bill Miller. 13th double of the year for Hillenbrand, who came in 5th in the league in that category. 3 Red Sox hitters in double figures in doubles already. Miller is another one.
When you're a right-handed hitter and you can hit the ball with some authority to right field, it allows you to wait a little bit longer, and you don't get fooled as many times on breaking pitches because you can wait that one split second just a little bit longer to try to recognize the fastball or the breaking ball.
Miller in a nice groove lately. 9-game hitting streak. 10 of his 12 runs batted in have happened in the last 11 games. Very timely fashion. And Snyder, unlike every other hitter this inning, ahead in the count. Still 0-2.
Threw him a breaking ball there on the inside part of the plate. You can see him digging in there for that pitch. You can see the spin over it. 12-6 rotation, spinning straight over the top. Ball gets down and in. Keep working both sides of the plate.
Trying to finish off Miller, and should do it. Right center field. And Tucker again making the call. So the 2-out double by Hillenbrand does no damage in the fourth. Still 1-0.
ESPN Stadium Anthems, available May 13th.
It's Sonic's 50th birthday, and you're invited to enjoy a made-to-order Sonic burger. Always made how you like it after you order it, with all the fresh ingredients. And top it off with Sonic's birthday cake shake. A great deal for only $2.99 from the place you've loved for generations.
You see an energy crisis crippling a city. We saw a chance to invest in a troubled utility, a bright idea that generated returns for our shareholders and power for the community. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Timid? Hardly. Controversial? Always.
He should be thrown out of the game even before a warning.
Bobby V's got something to say.
In my opinion.
Bobby Valentine, part of the new Baseball Tonight. Weeknights at 10 and midnight on ESPN.
Every day, an important sports story is breaking. Not a score, not a stat, but a buzz that's about to get louder. Beginning Monday, May 12th, Outside the Lines debuts in a new nightly format. Join me each weeknight, midnight Eastern, after SportsCenter.
Now you can find beautiful imported Italian tile and stone at 2 Roma Tile locations on Airport Freeway at Haltom Road and our new designer showroom on Pioneer Parkway in Arlington. Decorators, home builders, and homeowners all love the selection, and our expert staff is always there to help. Porcelain tile, tumbled marble, travertine, or slate. Roma Tile has it all. Stop by one of our designer quality showrooms today and compare our large variety of styles and colors. Roma Tile on Airport Freeway at Haltom Road and now 3201 West Pioneer Parkway in Arlington.
Come to the mall tour.
Dove presents Experience of a Lifetime, our 3rd annual mall tour.
People seem to know what they're talking about, and you're giving out some great freebies.
Grab your friends and family and treat yourself to a massage or hair makeover.
I love it.
Try fun new beauty products and discover the latest hair care tips.
It's great. Come, you gotta come.
Together with Comcast, we're back and better than ever.
I love Lifetime.
To find out more, log on to LifetimeTV.com. Come join us at the Stonebriar Center Mall in Dallas, Texas, May 10th and 11th.
Welcome back to Day Game. After the last half inning, Tony Pena went out to talk to home plate umpire Fielding Colbrook to ask about that wide strike zone. 2 called third strikes from John Burkett last inning. Tony Cloninger said before the game that Burkett, the reason he's 1-2 with a 5.66 ERA is he's not getting the outside corner. Today he's getting it. It's making a difference.
And you know, the outside corner seems to have been taken away from a lot of pitchers who have lived off the corners. Greg Maddux is the first one that comes to mind. Some people blame the Questec monitoring system, which is scrutinizing every call by every umpire behind the plate this year. And the umpires striking back, perhaps, at that level of evaluation. We've seen a lot of games this year where pitchers like Burkett, Maddux have not gotten calls they've been used to their entire career. 1-2 here to Michael Tucker.
I know before that, especially Maddox and a guy like John Burkett that had the movement that both of those guys had, if the ball looked like it started on the plate and moved off, a lot of times on camera you'd see pitches that maybe were almost a foot outside getting called for strikes.
All 4 strikeouts for Burkett have been looking.
What Burkett did right there, he had earlier pitches that he ran off the plate, started on the corner and ran them off. This pitch is a four-seamer that he stays right on the plate. Tucker thinks this ball is going to run off and it stays right there. It's a great job of pitching.
So here is the only Royal to reach against John Burkett today. Joe Randa singled with 1 out in the first and then erased on a 4-6-3 double play. So because of that, Burkett continues to have set down the Royals in order.
As long as Joe Randa is hitting the ball to right field like he did earlier in this ball game, he's going to stay around that 300 mark.
Well, took a shot at right here, went right to Ortiz. Stanley Cup playoff action tonight here on ESPN. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. We'll have Game 6, Vancouver, Minnesota. The Canucks leading that series 3-2. They look to advance to the Western Conference Finals against Anaheim with a win. For more on the Stanley Cup playoffs, log on to ESPN.com. So through 3 2/3, John Burkett almost spotless. Only the first inning single by Randa. Beltran's double play ball ending the first inning. Beltran sat out Saturday and Sunday as you look at the almost spotless line. Beltran injured his shoulder on a batting practice swing on Saturday. So he had a couple days off. He pinch hit in the 8th inning Monday in the first game of this series and singled. And this on the heels of missing the first 14 games of the season with a strained right oblique. Then an 0-for-16 start to the season. So the numbers for Beltran nowhere near where you expect him to be.
That last pitch, you saw Jason Varitek hold his mitt up just above the belt line right in the middle of the plate. Why do you do that? The reason that he does it, he's trying to change Beltran's eye level. You get a guy up there that's swinging the bat. Beltran likes the ball that's down. They're trying to challenge him on the inside part of the plate right at his hands, and they're trying to elevate the ball. Part of what Burkett does is he not only moves the ball from side to side and changes speed, adding and subtracting his pitches, he also moves the ball up and down. And you have to do that if you're throwing the ball 85, 86 miles an hour. You've got to continue to change the eye level and change the reaction time of the hitter by changing speeds.
That pitch may have been one he got the benefit of the doubt on in past years. And now for just the second time he goes to a 3-ball count. 3-1 pitch to Relaford in the second. Fly to right. 3-2 called strike 3 again. Beltran, the second strikeout of the inning, the 5th of the game. They've all been caught looking. 1-0 Sox.
Deal, we have a bachelorette party that wants to find a great hotel in Florida, and money's tight. Destination Orbitz.
Well, sir, our new hotel matrix is loaded with options. And I just negotiated another Orbitz saver for a hotel in Miami. In fact, Hunt and Star are there right now.
This Orbitz Saver hotel's amazing. Close to the beach, and the view's magnificent.
It certainly is.
Aye, Candy. The bachelorettes will be pleased. Another mission accomplished, Neil.
The Kia Sorento, the only SUV with a 10-year warranty. Dual front and side curtain airbags. And a standard V6. All for under $21,000. Where will it take you? Right now, get 0% financing or up to $2,000 cash back on the Kia Sorento.
Come on, Dad. You can do it. Faster, Dad. Keep going, Dad. Let's go, Dad. Ring the bell at the top. That's my dad. He's going all the way up. You're going all the way up to the top, right, Dad?
At least you can count on Toro mowers. Guaranteed to start on the first or second pull. Or we'll fix it free. that comes to athlete's foot. This is the latest. This isn't. Lotramin Ultra, the latest prescription strength medicine available without a prescription. The latest cure, so ultra powerful. 1 use a day is all you need. Nothing's proven stronger or faster. Lotramin Ultra.
All right, kids, today we're going to rob a home run, and this is how it's done.
Major League Baseball Charities is a proud partner of Boys and Girls Clubs of America.
Come on, you got to rob back.
You guys want to know about the Rally Cab? Make a big W. This is an important part of baseball.
Through programs like RBI and Rookie League, they bring baseball and softball to kids around the world.
Ooh, you're supposed to jump.
Together, they create a positive place for kids.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh!
Well, there aren't any seats back there. That would go as an obstructed view, I guess, if they did have bleachers behind those spectacular fountains out in the outfield here at Kauffman Stadium. It's 1-0 Boston. 66 pitches through the first 4 innings, and Kyle Snyder has almost matched the veteran John Burkett in his 400th career start, the second career Major League start for Snyder. And Jeremy Giambi with one of only 2 Boston hits. They've both been doubles. Giambi led off with a double to left center in the 3rd, and he leads off with a grounder to the shortstop Relaford here in the 5th. The 11-0 start at home this year by Kansas City ended last night with a 7-3 Boston win. The best home start in the Major League since the 1911 Detroit Tigers, who won their first 12 games. A lot of good it did it. They ended up 13.5 games behind the Philadelphia A's that year. Ty Cobb and company. But for Kansas City, their hopes are that they can make the postseason for the first time since their only World Series championship. It's hard to believe they have not been back to the playoffs since the '85 victory over the Cardinals. Veritek in foul ground, run down by D. Brown. So at 20-10, only the Yankees and the Giants have a better winning percentage. And only the 1976 Kansas City Royals were this good through 30 games. And that 76 team, the one that started the golden age for Kansas City.
Now, which name does not belong in that grouping, would you think? The one that's underlined.
The one right there below the Giants.
About that. I think this Royals ball club is playing with some high energy. They've got a lot of young arms on this ball club that are quality arms. They're learning as they go. But I think the biggest thing of the biggest key to success for this ball club is they're playing with a renewed focus and a renewed energy. And I think all of that comes from their manager, Tony Pena. I talked to him a little bit about that record, trying to win 13 ball games in a row. And his comment was, records are all fine and good, and we'd love to have it, but the biggest thing that we're concentrating on right now is winning every ball game when we get out there. Day to day.
Mike Sweeney continues to be the focal point day in day out, kind of the story beneath the story, because most people are aware when he re-signed with Kansas City, made sure there was a clause in his contract that if the Royals don't have a winning record this year or next, as Damon works the 2-out walk, then Sweeney could have an escape clause. He could leave with back-to-back losing seasons this year next. Well, now a losing season looking that much more unlikely with the start they're off to. And as the story in the current ESPN the magazine details, he put that clause in not because he was itching to get out of Kansas City. He wanted it as insurance that the franchise would do everything it could to build as well as it could around him. He wants to stay here, but he wants to play for a winner here.
Now, was that Sweeney on the cover of that magazine?
Artistic rendition of it.
He definitely wants to win, and he provides a great position of leadership on this ball club. All of the guys respect him, not only for his playing ability, but for the stance that he takes and the kind of person that he is.
Todd Walker reached on a walk last time. I think Raul Ibanez speaks for most of the Royals. He says that, you know, not only is Mike Sweeney the type player we all want to become, he is the type person we all want to be.
That's a pretty solid compliment right there.
Tony Pena, as we said earlier, says he has leadership skills on a par with Willie Stargell. Is there any higher level when you're talking about leadership?
I think DeFelice is going out to talk with young Kyle Snyder to tell him, look, let's get this guy out. We've got 2 outs. The last thing that we want to do right here is get Walker on base and Garciaparra and Ramirez coming out. The last thing that you want is having Garciaparra and Ramirez batting every single time with runners in scoring position, because sooner or later they're going to get you.
Damon going for second. He has not been thrown out all year, and he's now 8 for 8. Came in tied for third in the American League in steals. And the second steal of the day for Boston. They're now up to 25, 1 off the league lead set by Anaheim.
Big leg kick from Snyder there. Not much of a chance for DeFelice, even though he gets the ball and gets rid of it quick. If you're over a 1-4 to home plate from the pitcher's mound, 1.4 seconds, the catcher's got no chance.
So Damon in scoring position, but Walker's not going to do anything with it. As Sweeney has to go to his knees, fighting the wind blowing in to take the foul pop off the bat of Walker. Sox 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position today.
Well, you know, smiling, baby, you need some guiding, baby. Well, I just decided, well, baby, now I need you more than ever. Let's spend the night together. Let's spend the night together now. Oh, my, my. Let's spend the night together.
You do it every day, but you've never seen it done like this. It's extreme everyday driving. See stop and go traffic. Bumper to bumper bedlam. Lay on the horn, it's dreadlock, baby. Ramp up the action with the damn flying uphill horn.
This may not look extreme to you, but it is to your engine. Fram Tough Guard oil filters, tough enough to handle the extremes of everyday driving. Fram, do you drive tough?
It's gonna be awesome.
I feel like we really haven't connected in a really long time.
Okay, every time I try to do something special, all I get is garbage.
You've simply lost touch with something that was once good. Here. Take this home.
Rekindle your love for the internet. Call 1-800-EARTHLINK and get 6 months of Earthlink dial-up for half price. You get pop-up blocker too. It stops virtually all unwanted pop-ups. Why wait? Move to Earthlink.
There's nothing like a June wedding.
Our son and daughter are going to be married. We're stuck with each other.
To bring out the CIA.
He's a rogue agent.
The FBI.
Freeze.
And the best in family.
What a piece of make you bet I do.
Michael Douglas, Albert Brooks.
You know how you put the landing gear down?
You don't know where the landing gear is? I got you so good.
The in-laws.
First an airplane, now one of the tallest buildings in the world. I'm proud of you.
The elevator stopped.
Rated PG-13. Sneak preview Saturday. Starts May 23rd.
What's good?
Sam? Subway's new Italian urban cheese. The taste will bring you to your knees. Great bread makes a sandwich a true taste delight. You'll see for yourself with just one bite.
Subway, eat fresh.
Dave Barnett, Jeff Brantley, Gary Miller back at Kauffman Stadium. Still 1-0 Boston, bottom of the 5th now. And John Burkett, who has struck out 4 of the last 5 Royals, 5 all told, all looking, starts with a strike to Sweeney, who fly to right his first trip.
John starts Sweeney off with a changeup. The ball starts in the left-handed hitter's batter's box and runs back over the outside corner. Not a pitch you want to swing at on a first pitch.
Talked about the story in ESPN the magazine about Sweeney. He details some of the challenges that he has to go through as a very devoutly religious major league ball player, and fighting the stereotype that somehow he's less manly, less competitive. Bouncer handled by Nomar Garciaparra. Sweeney and David Robinson could have a long talk about fighting those stereotypes. And he talks about the fight that cost him a 10-game suspension a couple of years ago when Jeff Weaver threw a cheap shot his way. And there was a girl that he knew through his church group, a young girl who was fighting cancer, who saw the highlights of the fight and the news about the suspension, and then told him how crushed she was. How could you do that, Mike? And he says he literally spent some sleepless nights wondering, you know, did I do the right thing? Am I really who I think I am? And he finally explained to her, well, there are times you just have to stand up for yourself.
And you're right. I think that you do have to stand up for yourself, but your religious beliefs, I don't think, make up what type of person you are. You're either a passive person or an aggressive person. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian or not a Christian. It's just part of who you are.
Almost a direct quote from David Robinson.
Yeah.
Many years having to convince people. Between the lines, if you're competitive, that's all that matters. That's going to come out. Sweeney battling the wrist, had treatment on it before the game, refuses to use it as much of a crutch, but he looks at his average, about 70-80 points below where he finished last year. He's not enjoying this Royal start quite as much as you would think, because he puts so much self-expectation into his game. He has such high standards for himself that he maybe takes every out tougher than anybody else on the team.
Sometimes it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And a lot of these other ball players, that when you're on the team and you're in the dugout with the 24 other guys, you know who's hurt and who's not. And a lot of times you have to go out there and play with a little bit of an injury to prove to the other guys this is what you're supposed to do and this is how you play the game.
Nomar did that to Sweeney last night, and he robs Ibanez from the same spot with the same play.
I don't know how he throws the ball over there with that kind of velocity. There's not too many shortstops that can make this play. He's going towards the third baseline, and still, ball looks like it comes out of a rocket ship right there, right on the money.
Even in slow motion, that looks like a throw that's about 95 miles an hour. Garcia Parra with a couple of errors on Monday night, taking the blame for that loss. Grady Little has seen much more spectacular play from him the last two nights. Here's Desi Relaford.
Years back, Dave, they paid shortstops for that play, and even if he had a little bit of offense, that was just icing on the cake. This guy brings the whole package.
Ball and a strike. Relaford fly to right his first trip, and Burkett through 4 2/3 still has faced the minimum. 14 hitters, has retired 12 straight since the only base runner, one out single by Joe Randa in the first.
And if you had to make a guess as to how Burkett would pitch, or any other pitcher would pitch, with a top velocity of 86 miles per hour, and that was only one pitch, how would he do? Well, you probably wouldn't think that he would do very well, but he's pitched. He's used both sides of the plate very well today, sinking the ball off the outside corner, throwing his changeup practically in every single part of the count, and he's also mixed in a four-seamer that he's gotten a lot of strikeouts with on some of these left-handers on the outside part of the plate.
Rare 3-ball count in his second straight. Now 3-2. Don't forget our doubleheader tonight on ESPN2 beginning at 7 Eastern. Burkett's former team, the Braves, against the Rockies, and followed at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific by the Yankees and the Mariners. And you can see Mike Mussina go for a 7-0 start. Trot his 1.60 earned run average out at Safeco Field. Some of you will see Cardinals Reds, White Sox Oakland. First swinging strike 3, 6th strikeout. Burkett continues to mow through the Royals and lead 1-0.
No change? No problem. 1-800-COLLECT. For collect calls. It's always there when you need it. That's easy enough. Just like riding a bike. You are an angel. 1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or two.
Forget what you've seen. Forget what you've heard. Because the deodorant world is entering a new dimension. New degree for men.
Introducing Bear Advanced Power Force Grass and Weed Killer. One application knocks out even the toughest weeds. Fast.
1, 2, 3, it's over!
Guaranteed. Bear Advanced. Better thinking, better results. Bear Advanced Power Force Multi-Insect Killer. Nothing kills bugs faster. Guaranteed. Bear Advanced. Better thinking, better results.
The drama of the NBA playoffs is on TNT. With over 40 games in 40 nights, TNT is your exclusive home for the Western Conference Finals. Coverage begins April 19th. The drama of the NBA playoffs is on TNT. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines, official airline of the NBA.
Sponsored locally in part by Central Kia.
Would you pay $2,000 for any of these non-running junk cars? Southwest Kia, I-20 in Southampton and Dallas did just that. All these cars were towed in, pushed in, pulled in, dragged into Southwest Kia, I-20 in Southampton and Dallas, and the owners received $2,000 in trade. Just imagine how much Southwest Kia would give you on your trade. So what are you waiting for? Push, pull, drag, or drive your trade to Southwest Kia, I-20 in Southampton and Dallas. We don't care how you get here, just get here.
ESPN's Day Game, brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT. Save $1 or $2. And re-engineered Degree for Men. Kicks in the clutch.
Right by the Missouri River, downtown Kansas City. We're a few miles away. Kauffman Stadium. Nomar Garciaparra, Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz in the Boston sixth. They lead 1-0. On a second inning run scored without benefit of a hit. Omar's popped up twice with a 9-game hitting streak coming in.
You can see Garciaparra, every single pitch that he's taken a swing at today, his front left shoulder is pulling off the ball. Even great hitters, if they get jammed, they start thinking about trying to get the bat head out, and you see that front shoulder pull off 2 breaking balls in a row. Struggling a little bit.
Right field. D. Brown. Garciaparra 0 for 3.
That pitch right there is pretty much indicative of how things are going for him. You can't drive the ball the other way if you're pulling off the ball towards the third baseline. And that pitch right there, pitch that he normally can hit hard, just a weak fly ball into right field.
He really hasn't had a good-looking swing yet today, has he?
Very difficult to have a good-looking swing when you're pulling off the ball, and you get jammed like that early in the season. A couple of times you feel like your bat's slow and you start to really trying to get something on it.
Manny Ramirez, first ball hitting and just out of play as D. Brown arrives right when the ball hits the rail.
That ball almost ricocheted and hit him in the head. See Brown going over, having to deal with the fans and the rail. That would hurt.
Split second from disaster.
Oh, look out.
Just a long 0-1. Ramirez walked, scored the only Boston run back in the second. And grounded to short last time. The top scoring team in the American League. The next run will be their 200th of 2003. Way out in front. 0-2. Boston averaging 6 runs per game, hitting .326 over the last 8 games.
Curveball right here. Even though that pitch is in the middle part of the plate, that pitch is set up by the velocity of Schneider's fastball. Even though he's pitched behind a lot of times today, his fastball is such that the Boston hitters have got to cheat a little bit to catch it.
Ball, strike 3.
When you've got hitters having to respect your fastball, all you've got to do is get your off-speed stuff over the plate. This is another curveball, same pitch that Manny missed 0-2, right down the heart of the plate. And you can see Ramirez buckle. You see him squat just a little bit. Those hands start to come forward. There's no way you can pull the trigger.
Boy, how impressed do you have to be by Kyle Snyder? Second major league start. They both come against Boston, the top scoring team in the American League. He's given them 2 earned runs in 10 2/3 innings. And he has David Ortiz way out in front.
He seems to be getting comfortable. And even this run that is scored, we talked about this earlier, that was Snyder's fault. He let Manny Ramirez steal third base, and then a fly ball by Hillenbrand ended up scoring him when he could have been out of the inning without any damage at all. This should be a 0-0 ball game. And Snyder's starting to get comfortable. When you see a young pitcher out there throwing his breaking ball and his changeup for strikes with a mid-90s fastball like he's got today, pretty tough to get the batter out though.
0-2 to Ortiz, who is 0 for 2. And the first ball he's thrown this inning, 8 straight strikes, and now 1-2. Ortiz has been on base all 16 of his starts coming in. They're still waiting for his power to show up. And now 2-2. Snyder will turn 26 in September. Out of North Carolina, 7th overall pick in '99. Pitched in only 2 games the next 2 years with elbow miseries. And in the left field for Raul Ibanez. In a couple of steps, another 1-2-3 inning. Snyder continues almost to match Burkett pitch for pitch.
Hey, Brad. Hi, Steve. There's an Echo in your garage. Yeah, my new Echo grass trimmer. It has iStart.
Echo's iStart technology reduces starting effort by 75%. And with Rapid Loader, line changes are now lightning fast. Put an Echo in your garage. For your nearest dealer, call 1-800-432-ECHO.
America's most popular camera series is now digital. Introducing the all-new, all-weather, all-digital Stylus. Olympus. Nothing's impossible.
Automobile Magazine All-Star. 5 years in a row.
Since the current BMW 5 Series was first introduced, we've found very little to improve on.
Winner, $35,000 to $40,000 category. AAA Auto Guide.
And apparently, many others would agree. BMW, the ultimate driving machine.
Homeward bound, I wish I was homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts escaping. Home, where my music's playing. Home, where my love lies waiting silently.
The comforts of home. Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Accepted at home stores everywhere.
ESPN day game from Kauffman Stadium. 1-0 Boston in the bottom of the 6th now. Dave Barnett, Jeff Brantley, and Gary Miller. Watching a pitching duel between 38-year-old John Burkett and rookie 25-year-old Kyle Snyder. And Boston's small ball second inning, the difference right now. Burkett has faced the minimum 15 Kansas City hitters through the first 5 innings. He has retired the last 13. And has 6 strikeouts. Ball and a strike to D. Brown, who flied to center. Number 7 hitter, followed by Carlos Fabulous and Mike DeFelice.
And let's don't think for a second that John Burkett is pitching well because Kansas City is not swinging the bats very well. This ball club is scoring runs. They're hitting home runs. 3rd, I think, in the American League. Burkett is just using both sides of the plate. He's pitching today. That's why these guys aren't hitting the baseball.
They've been out homered by only the Yankees and the Rangers, and there is their 2nd hit of the day. Joe Randa singled in the 1st. D. Brown singles to lead off the 6th.
If you're going to hit a guy like John Burkett, especially with him changing speeds and using both sides of the plate, you've got to think back up the middle. You've got to think the other way, and that's what D. Brown does right here. This ball is down. If you try to do anything with that pitch, trying to pull it or trying to juice that ball, you're out. And you can see his head's down on the ball. He drives that back shoulder through the baseball. That's how you get it done.
So for the first time since the 1st inning, Burkett has to deal with a man on base. Brady Little with that thin margin. It's now even at 2 apiece, and Carlos Fablis, who was caught looking back in the third.
With D. Brown and Carlos Fablis at the plate, wouldn't surprise me to watch Tony Pena either try to move him over or put the hit and run on. Tony's going to try to do whatever he can to get some action right here because he's got an opportunity to make something happen. He's got to do it.
Fablis tried to bunt, fouled it off. So Hillenbrand in at third base.
And you see Fablis when if that was a sacrifice, if that was the call from the dugout, he didn't do a very good job at it. The sacrifice, you're giving yourself up. You square around, you get the bat out there, and you get the ball down. This is not a drag bunt situation.
Only one sacrifice so far this year for Fablis.
And a lot of hitters don't know that, Dave. A lot of hitters get up there, and the only thing they know how to do is drag bunt. They don't know how to sacrifice bunt, and that's why they can't get it done.
Brown going with the pitch right through the hole. Vacated by Garcia Parra, and a head first dive into third.
That's Tony Pena baseball right there. National League style. Get the runners moving, try to make something happen. You know Burkett is pitching a good ball game. He's been around the zone all day long. You've got speed on the base pass. They put the hit and run on and make it work to perfection.
Right where Garcia Parra had been. And Brown easily making third. Fablis now 3 for 4 in his career against Burkett. Retired only on that strikeout back in the third. On the corners, nobody out. Number 9 hitter DeFelice also caught looking his first time. Both of his home runs have come in the last 3 games. A chance at least to tie it up here. If you can just get one in the air to the outfield.
Toughest pitch to get on top of is that high fastball to try to get it into the outfield. You get a low pitch, especially an off-speed pitch, you get the bat head out in front and get the ball lifted into the outfield, and that's what DeFelice is trying to do right here. Get that run home.
Field and Culbreth behind the plate, giving him timeout. And now right back in. Burkett's only win was his first start this year. April 4th at Baltimore. Since then he's lost 2 and had 3 no decisions. So looking for his second win of the year and first in over a month. Used to getting a lot more support than this. 6 runs per game, which is the average output for the Boston offense this year.
Well, Burkett's got a good move to first base. A lot of times he'll use a series of 3 moves. Show the runner at first base an off move and then come back with his A move to try to pick him off.
Breaking ball, base hit to left, and we're tied at 1. Kansas City suddenly bunching 3 straight singles in the bottom third of their order in the 6th inning.
A lot of times as a manager, if you get something going, that feeling starts to move through the dugout. You start to get some guys getting excited about getting up to the plate. DeFelice doesn't try to do anything special with his pitch, stays on top of it, a hanging breaking ball in the middle of the zone, doesn't try to hit the ball out of the ballpark, just tries to put the ball in play, ends up with a nice swing and a base hit.
5th RBI of the year. D. Brown home to make it 1-1. First and second, and Tucker lays one down. Ortiz to Miller covering. 2 Royals in scoring position with 1 out.
Nice job by Tucker right there, just getting the ball on the ground. This is another example of just small baseball, National League style from Tony Pena, just trying to make things happen, trying to manufacture runs. His pitcher's pitching a great ball game. He's trying to get him out there and get something doing with it.
And this for Tucker, his first sacrifice of the season. Well, the slogan is believe, and one of the best crowds of the year believing Kansas City can now break the tie with Randa followed by Beltran. A run in, Fablis at third, DeFelice at second. Until this inning, Randa had the only Kansas City base hit. A 1-out single in the first.
We've seen Randa both times in his ABs today trying to go to right field. And I'm sure that John Burkett knows the same thing. He's trying to get him on a ball on the inside part of the plate, trying to get a ground ball to third base to keep that runner held at third.
Joe Randa this year tied for third in the major leagues with Sweeney. He's had 8 go-ahead RBIs on the year. Here comes number 9. Gapper right center field. Will be run down by Giambi. And scoring without a throw, Fabulous. 2-1 Kansas City.
Talked about this earlier. As long as Joe Randa is hitting the ball to the right side, he's going to have some good numbers. Hitting in the spot that he's hitting it in that second hole, that's all he's got to do. Hit the ball to the right side that keeps him on the breaking ball, keeps him on top of that fastball.
Boy, until this inning, the last thing you would think would be on Grady Little's mind would be having to talk to Burkett and get the bullpen up. Steve Woodard loosening with 2 outs now in the 6th inning. Burkett entered the inning having retired 13 straight and having faced the minimum 15 Kansas City batters through the first 5. 6 strikeouts, 5 caught looking. Had the best stuff you'll ever see from Burkett. But Brown, Fabulous, and DeFelice all singled. 7, 8, 9 hitters to begin this inning. And then there's good major league strategic hitting with the sacrifice bunt followed by the sacrifice fly. Boston can look back at 0 for 6 production with runners in scoring position today. And Kansas City cashing in on its only scoring chance they've enjoyed all afternoon. Beltran has not been a part of it. 4-6-3 double play in the first, caught looking in the 4th. DH last night, he was 0 for 4.
From Burkett's perspective, this is the guy that he wants to get out. Beltran is struggling. Sweeney's on deck, and Ibanez is swinging a hot bat. Runner at second base right here. You got a chance to get out of the inning with minimal damage. Keep this guy in the sleep that he's in.
Beltran now down to 189. 3 homers, 7 driven in. In the dirt, blocked by Veritek. 2-1.
A lot of times this type of situation, especially for a hitter like Beltran, a quality hitter, 2 out, crucial hit right here, trying to get a run in late in the ball game. This could be something that could put him back on the right track. But he's got to be patient, and he's got to get a pitch that he knows he can handle.
3-1 with Sweeney on deck.
Burkett's trying to get him to chase. We've seen Burkett in some of his strikeouts running the ball away from these left-handed hitters and then coming back with that 4-seamer on the outside part of the plate. Burkett's got to throw Beltran a strike right here.
Can't do it. And Beltran works him for the walk. The first walk issued by Burkett today. Now Sweeney. 0 for 2 on the heels of an 0 for 3 last night. But few better this year with runners in scoring position and 2 out, hitting .429.
And part of the reason that Sweeney is so good with runners in scoring position is he doesn't try to do anything special. Continues to try to stay inside the ball, hit the ball the other way, look for a pitch out over the plate that he knows he can handle.
Just off the outside corner.
You can see Burkett still trying to run that ball back to the plate, but when you have runners in scoring position, you've got to be a little more careful. You can't take a chance on the ball running back over the middle of the plate, especially to a hitter like Mike Sweeney.
With runners in scoring position, 4th in the American League, .444 average. 2-0.
And you can see Veritek in the signs that he's given. He's given John Burkett a signal of what to throw, and then he's going through some dummy signs to try to throw off the runner at second base, so there can't be any relay from the runner at second base to Sweeney at the plate of what to expect.
DeFelice at second, Beltran at first. Sweeney looking for something good here, takes a strike. 2-1.
Another pitch starts off the plate and runs right back to the corner. This is where John Burkett has been all day long. Just don't want to make a mistake in this situation to this hitter.
Last pitch about the top level. He'll hit on the gun at 85. This one will fall in the gap in left center field. And DeFelice scoring. Beltran will score. It goes all the way to the track. And it's a 2-run double for Sweeney.
Burkett tried to run this ball in on Sweeney, but Sweeney gets his hands inside the ball and keeps it in the gap. It's a sign of a quality hitter when you can be patient and have a swing like this with the runners in scoring position. That's why he's hitting over 400 when the Ducks are on the punt.
26 RBIs on the year now for Sweeney. Perfectly placed between Ramirez and Damon in left center field. Tony Pena sees his young Kansas City Royals capitalize on the only chance they've had all day to get anything going against John Burkett. This bloop is going to fall in short center by Ibanez, and home comes Mike Sweeney to make it 5-1. For Ibanez, just his 3rd RBI in the last 13 games. As Kansas City piles it on now here in the 6th.
Burkett was so good for so long, but these pitches that are out over the plate, sooner or later they're going to catch up to him.
And they have caught up with Burkett to the point that Grady Little will have to go to Woodard out of the pen. Burkett entered this inning with a 1-hit shutout. He leaves trailing by 4.
Papa John's grilled chicken Alfredo. You expect the best. We deliver.
Try our new grilled chicken Alfredo, just $10.99. Call us now. We'll be right there.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
When you want a battery that keeps going, and going, and going, and going. Energizer Max. Do you have the bunny inside?
Got the bunny inside.
Everyone is discovering the secret of identity. Critics call it utterly mind-blowing. It keeps you guessing. Ebert and Roper give it 2 thumbs up. Identity. Rated R. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
So, having a good time? What's the matter, baby?
Our customers expect a website that delivers instant results, like Progressive.com. Buy car insurance instantly from the site rated #1 7 times in a row. Visit Progressive.com.
Whether it's your dream yard or your first yard, if you do it yourself or have someone else do it, more people buy mowers and tractors from Sears than anywhere else in America. We sell Craftsman, America's #1 mower and tractor brand, and from our wide selection, we'll find what's right for you. The best brands, selection, and service. And right now at Sears, get 0% financing on tractors and mowers until November 2003. Sears. Good life, great price.
Speed dates. Meet your match before the buzzer.
So what do you do?
Lawyer. And you?
Flex on sales rep.
Excuse me?
I sell these frames. They're flexible, see?
Careful.
That's okay. They spring back.
I'm a teacher, and you?
Flex on sales rep.
Huh?
Flex on frames. They don't get bent out of shape.
Oh. I'm in public relations.
Flex on sales rep.
What?
Flex on frames.
Wow.
Be the most interesting. Wear the most interesting eyewear. Flex On by Marchand.
The Royals bat around here in the 6th inning. They chase John Burkett, who they hadn't touched until this inning, and they get Steve Woodard to work to Desi Relaford. Woodard's 7th appearance of the year. Last Thursday against the Royals, after Casey Fossum was ejected for throwing behind Raul Ibanez in the 1st inning, he came on, went 4 2/3, retired 13 of the first 15 batters he faced, and then they got to him for 3 runs in the 6th. That was also the big inning in that game 6 days ago for the Royals.
When you're facing the Royals, the last guy that you want to beat you is Mike Sweeney. But in the situation that Burkett was in with 2 outs, runners in scoring position, leaves the pitch over the plate to Sweeney and makes him pay.
And the bloop single by Ibanez scoring Sweeney. And Sweeney looked a little bit gimpy as he rounded the bases, and in fact just continued on through the dugout, up the tunnel, and apparently being checked in the locker room right now. So he may add a leg injury to his sprained ligament in his left wrist. Still has the key hit, the 2-run double in this 5-run Kansas City 6th. A rope, but pulled well foul, and it's 2-2.
There's a lot of guys on this Kansas City ball club that you could do without. Mike Sweeney is not one of them.
Well, not for even a day, if they can help it.
You can see him coming around first base here.
He starts to feel it right as he rounds first. Runner going, Relaford, fair ball into the corner. Ibanez will score easily, an RBI double by Desi Relaford, and it's a 6-run 6th for Kansas City.
Tony Pena starts the runners again. Fastball, middle end. Desi Relaford's not going to miss that too many times. That's the same pitch that he hit out of the ballpark in the first ball game that these two played. A lot of times you get a smaller stature left-handed hitter that's a middle infielder, and you think, well, I'll just pound this guy in. He can't get the bat to the ball. But Desi's one of those guys that it's the other way around. If you're going to get him out, it's got to be away. If you try to come in with him with some hard stuff, he's going to hurt you, and he did right there.
D. Brown started the whole thing with a single up the middle. Then Fabulous singled. DeFelice with an RBI single. Tucker a sacrifice bunt. Randa a sacrifice fly. Beltran walked. Sweeney with the 2-run double to left center. Ibanez chased Burkett with the RBI bloop to center field. And now the 10th hitter here in the 6th inning. 1-1 from Woodard. So all 6 runs charged to Burkett.
Talk about the Kansas City Royals and Tony Pena preaching, let's have fun, let's play the game the way it's supposed to be played. Well, it's a lot easier to have fun when you're batting around in the 6th inning.
Well, 2 completely different games really for Burkett. In the first he was untouchable. In the 6th suddenly the Royals explode. As you look at our Sheraton pitching summary, 83 pitches, 52 strikes, only 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 5 were looking. 5 of the 6 hits here in the inning. And Snyder's ability to shake off that second and match zeros ever since now has him in position for his first major league win.
And Snyder has pitched very well, but let's don't forget he is on somewhat of a pitch count. I don't know that he's going to be allowed to finish this ball game. And with this Boston Red Sox lineup, I don't think they're ever out of a ball game regardless of what the score is.
That is off the glove of Hillenbrand, but still time to recover and get Brown and finally get the Red Sox out of this nightmarish bottom of the 6th. Burkett is gone. He leads trailing now 6-1.